6:04. I'll use the draft script for a remotely conducted open meeting. So I am Steve Walker, Chair. I'll do a roll call to confirm that all members, or at least sufficient members, are here and can hear me. So when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Pete.
Here.
Jeff.
Here.
Faith.
Here.
Me. Oh, sorry, here. And staff.
Here.
Joe.
Here.
Does anybody know if Steve is joining us?
I have no clue.
Oh, don't know.
But we do have a quorum. So in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised as this meeting is being recorded and will be put up on the YouTube channel within 24 hours, I believe. Is that correct, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, this is an older script I'm using. The town of Lunenburg, in response to COVID-19, is following the guidance from the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and the CDC to prevent the spread in accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Public meetings are now being conducted remotely. For this meeting, Pacc, Public Access Cable Committee, is convening by telephone if people need, or via Zoom, which is what we are presently doing. Okay, I will introduce each topic on the agenda. I can go down the line of members. For votes, remember that we will do them by roll call. So the first item on the agenda is right in front of me. I'm sorry, I just came out of the TCP building committee, which they had their meeting starting at 5:30 and may have some influence on us, but we can't be. Actually, I could set up 2 computers, but that would get silly. So, okay, so that was the roll call. Are there any public comments? Seeing no members of the public, are there any public comments from members of the committee?
Yes, I would like to just say to Joe that the story time is a smash hit. We have 270 hits in the 3 shows so far, which is gotta be a local record.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And with Eric's help, we're doing a much better job getting the video of the pictures in the book and weaving that into the story through editing. So
it's caught on well.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Thank you, Pete. The only thing I would mention, because it's not on the agenda, the town warrant article that we approved a while back did actually make it into the warrant. So we have 120,000 capital budget, which is basically a method of properly accounting for our expenditures. Is in there. It's item number 10. The other one that may or may not affect us in the town warrant, I believe, is 17, which is the TCP architects report, or actually the warrant is asking if they want to hear it. So if they do want to hear it, presumably it will be done. I noticed, Joe, the town meeting is not being Zoomed. Is that correct?
Correct.
And are we going to have our usual 3 camera setup in there?
Yes.
And will it be broadcast live, or it will not be broadcast live?
Typically not broadcast live, but I will check with Heather to see if she wants to make it live.
Okay. Any further comments from anybody? Hearing none, we probably should go to item 4 on the agenda, which is we had a meeting which we thought we were allowed to do, was since advised that you can't even have the meeting even if you don't make decisions, which is not what we'd previously understood. So we have to review the last meeting discussions, which, Jeff, I hope you had enough notes from that you could lead us through this part.
Yeah, I submitted it to everybody, but I can quickly, I actually have it up right now, and I can just review. So meeting was called to order. All committees were here. Non-committee members, Joe was present. We submitted warrants approved from last meeting, and the town received them. Technically or not technically, we approved September 4th minutes. So we might have to just re-vote on those or reapprove them.
Yeah, we can do that under the item 3. Yep.
Manager's report. The story time was started and we'll be airing them every 2 weeks. Preparing the town meeting, the new recorder. Designs were given to the architect.
Pardon me. New encoder.
New encoder, not recorder. New encoder.
Encoder. Yeah.
Yep. New encode. All right. The architect. The Wolf Station will be able to supply background music. The quote was for $7,500 for 1 year. The story block was quoted for $7,500 for 1 year. The Wolf was $1,200 a year.
Joe, if that's not right, Joe, please speak up.
The DeWolf music was in the $1,400 range per year.
Yeah.
14. All right.
It's like $1,448, I think.
Well, you just sent us the quote.
$1,440.
Right.
But you did not have that quote for the last meeting. So this was just the general number that.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is just for the meeting previously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then Joe will be going on more studio visits to get a better idea of Lunenburg's new studio space. You were gonna send out the time to see if other members can join. Department head continuity plan is still being worked on. A Zoom made a change with a limit access to accounts. Caitlin will get back into the studio soon to work on some projects.
Kayla.
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 Kayla. Ending balance of September is $735,908.83. That was everything from the manager's report. The TCP architect, Steve sent out the space picture of a new studio. Space concept. Green rooms are not in most studios now. A space will be reconfigured to allow a meeting space. And then the next meeting was October 5th. And we adjourned at 6:47. Next meeting was November 2nd. My apologize. Okay. November 2nd. And meeting ended at 6:47.
Okay, I'm not sure. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that.
Do you need a motion to accept?
I'm not sure how we do this, but I think to put things back in order, what Jeff just did for us needs to be included in the minutes of this meeting.
Okay.
If anyone thinks doing it by motion to accept Jeff's verbal report, then I'm fine with that. I don't like being outside the rules, even if it's with the best intent.
Yeah.
So does somebody want to make a motion?
I mean,
I can make a motion to include last social gathering stops into this meeting's report.
I second.
Any further discussion? We have to do it by roll call. So Pete.
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye.
Faith.
Aye.
Steve, I know you've only just joined us. I appreciate you doing that. And I as well. Any nays? Not hearing any. The motion is carried. Thank you. I like your background, Steve.
Thanks.
Is that your own personal greenhouse that you're sitting in?
Oh, no, I faked it. Yes.
Yep.
He's in the pumpkin patch.
I am. It's close to Thanksgiving.
You're right, indeed. It's also close to Halloween, but
True.
that's a different issue.
It's like he's in some garden somewhere.
Right. So, Jeff, do we have minutes of the, I got slightly lost somewhere. When we had our unofficial gathering, we didn't go through the minutes, did we, at that time?
Yeah, I thought we approved them.
We did? Yeah,
I
you may
thought
well be
so.
right.
Oh yeah, we approved them thinking we could.
Okay,
Right.
Then
so,
when I just said that we might have to approve September's again to make it official.
Yeah.
well,
I make a motion to accept September's minutes as presented previously.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Pete, thank you. Do I have any further discussion on them? Hearing none by roll call again. Pete,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Faith,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
me too. So being unanimous, it's passed. Thank you. Jeff, do we have,
August meeting.
we're kind of tying ourselves in knots here. So we don't have, we've just approved the minutes from September. And
Mhm.
officially, we don't have minutes for October.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll just say
But we voted to include them in
We did,
this.
right.
yeah, we voted to include last month, but I will, like, I know when we miss a meeting, I just submit something like we didn't have enough for a quorum, so I can write that up and just submit it that we did not get the agenda posted in time for the meeting.
Okay,
And that'll be for October.
so that'll put our record straight with a bit of luck.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. That's, I believe with the best will in the world, we're doing what we can to realign ourselves and get our documents in order.
Mhm.
Next item on the agenda is the manager's report. Is the manager present?
Manager is present. I don't have a lot to report. I've just been doing everything that I do every month. But I am preparing for the special town meeting. We will have a meeting. Heather will have a meeting prior to that for all the safety precautions.
When is the special town meeting?
November
date?
17th.
17th.
November 17th.
Are
Yeah.
you all set on people recording the meeting? You have
Yes.
enough videographers?
Yeah, well, they don't want videographers manning the cameras, so
Oh,
yeah, but we're all set.
okay, good.
Yep. I know it's on the agenda further on, but we did a studio visit. I've been working with Steve Walker on the architect layouts. I'm continuing the continuity paperwork. I only have another 2 weeks to finish it, and it'll take all of 2 weeks to get that done. There was a Comcast outage last month, and they had it fixed in less than 24 hours. So,
However, they claimed they had no requirement to fix it in less than 24 hours.
well, I kept calling them. It was ridiculous.
I know. I don't know where that
seemed like
requirement
it was-
came from.
It seemed like it was more than
I think
24 hours.
it was too.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I checked a few times and it was just black. It wasn't, there was no programming.
It could have been more than 24 hours from my phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you get some kind of alarm or warning? I didn't know whether I should call you or what.
No,
How
I'm
do you,
supposed
you
to check
find
the
out?
channels. I'm supposed to check the channels, but that one got away from me. I didn't.
well, it was on a
catch that
weekend or
one.
something, right?
Yeah.
I
So-
believe in general that any committee member who happens to spot they're out, would a text to Joe be in order?
Yeah. That would be great.
So that
Okay.
would be more eyes on it, which I think would be a good thing.
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes I don't check it till like really, really late at night. So, but I will text if I see anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Had a videographers meeting in October that went well. It was really mostly to review the new Zoom procedure, which is logging into the admin's account in order to stream the video, which is a bit of a hassle, but that's the way you have to do it. So Travis and I tested the new encoder at the high school, and it seems to be working fine, much better than the old encoder. So that's good news. I received the cash certification document from Karen Brochu, which I just have on file, saying that our reserves were certified, and now we can go ahead and take that money for capital, which there is a warrant in for that. So, and I'll be doing a Castis software update this week, probably tomorrow.
Sure you want to do that before the town meeting?
I know. And on election day.
I could always wait.
No, I'm just because, I mean, their history sometimes is very good, but sometimes they seem to get their
Yes.
underwear in a twist, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll do it next week.
Oh, you mean
There's
right
no-
before the meeting? Oh,
There's no,
No, after.
or I could do it after. There's no rush on it.
Yeah.
why? I'm sorry, but why don't we just schedule it for after the
Yeah.
town
Just to
meeting?
be safe.
Sure.
I'd hate
Sure.
for something to get all wrong. So.
Okay. Going back to studio visits, I'm going to contact Drake It to go visit them. I've been to their studio before for a meet and greet, and it was very nice. And they have a really nice setup there. So
And they have the best van in this whole state, I think.
they do have the best van. So I'll be reaching out to Gary Muse at Drake It and find out if we can come up for a visit.
Right.
Thank you.
How about Westford? What kind of facility do they have?
I've been to Westford. Not huge.
Yeah, it looks small.
They've got a big lobby. They've got a big control room, and they've got an average size studio.
Okay.
A lot of nice equipment. Great set. I could always call Lauren over there, the executive director, and find out if we can come over there.
Yeah, I've driven by it so many times. I've always been curious.
Okay.
It
I'll
would
make
be on the way to Drake, wouldn't it? Or
Westford, probably.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
oh, okay.
A long,
My
a long way.
geography's off.
I think that's all I have for now. I did send along the calendars earlier today.
Yep.
And I also provided the financials, which was nothing outstanding. There was no interest payment made. Which I think I have an edit to do on this spreadsheet, but there was no interest paid. And of course, the accounting department sometimes puts in or puts on the books the interest or a payment from Comcast later. And then I have to backtrack and put it in.
Yeah.
So, but there was nothing on there regarding that. No unusual expenses, just salaries and payroll videographers. That was the only thing. And our balance after this month's expenses is $729,293.19.
Why isn't it 776,716?
Are you looking at a different document?
Well, I'm looking at October 2020. Your normal document, this one.
Correct.
And the bottom right-hand corner, 4 rows up, is 776,000.
Well, that's, if you look under October, that's correct. Under October, under ending balance is 729,293.19.
So why is the total 776 if you look in the very right-hand column? Yeah, I see where you get 729.
Because I believe it, well, the remaining columns are all filled in with 729,293 until I put the right number in.
Right. But the very right-hand column, it says 776. Isn't that the money we should actually have?
That is not the correct number. 729,293 is the correct number. I believe that number is the subtotal plus the revenue. Yeah, that's taking what's happening there. If you look in the right column, the 750, 237.94, which is under the starting balance in the totals column.
Mm-hmm.
That is our actual starting balance for the year.
Right.
Then it adds up our expenses.
Yeah.
Which is incorrect here.
Ah.
So I'll make a correction to that line.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's showing 22,000 and it's more than that.
So something's slightly askew.
So it's just a matter of fixing that spreadsheet.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind doing that, I'd appreciate that.
I certainly will. And that's the only thing I have for financials. Of course, I sent along the town financial report, which is always fun to read. We only had, as far as new programming in my program analysis, we had a bunch of PSAs, and we added the talking information channel for seniors. It's like a podcast. It's a play. It's a podcast play. And Kayla did a recording of an event at the Eagle House, which was World War II letters. And that was added to the programming for this month. So right now we're at 72% of outside sources for programming and 28% local, which is really just a sign of the times.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Now, we're gonna go through the music separately?
Yes, that's a separate item on the agenda.
Okay, then that's all I have.
Joe?
Okay.
Susie,
Yes.
Joe? I was just looking at the calendar here. Could we schedule the last Talking Baseball for December 3rd? Would that be convenient for you?
December 3rd, I don't have, my calendar disappeared. December 3rd is fine.
Okay, great, thank you.
5 o'clock?
Yes, unless it snows.
It might.
Again.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
You're
Appreciate that. If you would look at the spreadsheet, if you want to run something by me, make sure that I understand it as well, so we're on the same page. Then,
Sure.
if you wouldn't mind, please bring it to the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the TC Passio's architect update. They are presently meeting, which I went to for the first 30 minutes. I had sent an email to Greg Roy, who's the chair, saying if there are any issues concerning public access, I can only be there for the first 30 minutes, so please let me know then. I didn't get a response to my email, and I was there for the first 30 minutes and didn't get asked anything. So as a consequence, I didn't answer anything. We've had a number of iterations through our space, but I have to say right now they're very minor changes. One of the ones that the architect sent us, they had reorganized a piece that we'd actually taken care of to make sure it worked for us. The final one, they've put it back essentially to the way it was. I sent actually I sent a copy to Jo for her to sign it. I then took that, when she sent it back, I signed it and sent it on to the architect. And this is signing off on this space, our presently proposed space, being in the right place in the building relative to other departments, and also that it's correct for our internal flow. And every time I've sent him something, I've repeated that we need expert architectural help to do this, which when Jo and I went to Leominster and looked at their studio, they were talking about the way they'd set up the lights, the drapes, and the soundproofing, things like that, all of which require expert input. And I don't believe this company is able to provide that expert input. I'm also trying not to spend, $300,000 on an architect when we've only got $750,000 to work with anyway. That's for our equipment.
Steve,
Yes.
didn't you say that the association that we belong to of public access stations, they have a consultant who can help us do our studio?
They have a number of people who've done studios recently, and Joe put up something that basically was asking for advice on a new studio, if I remember correctly, Joe.
Mhm.
And I was hoping it would turn into a much more fascinating discussion. We got a few responses to it.
No,
But
I got a response from a company in New Jersey that has worked with a number of public access, designing a number of studios for public access in Massachusetts.
okay,
So,
did we get any studio recommending them? That's really what we were looking for, I think.
no, I didn't get anything.
Okay.
Did they indicate how much money it would cost?
No.
Okay.
No, because we're with the town, it'll have, when we're ready to go through this, it'll have to be a sealed bid process.
Okay.
And that is very, very, very detailed.
Yep.
On what we're looking for, down to the nuts and bolts. And then they go ahead and bid on it.
So
Okay.
good luck with that, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we're here to help.
So right now, there is a drawing which potentially is being discussed in the TCP Building Committee at the special town meeting. I don't know where they'll get to. When we're done here, I'll try and go back to the meeting and see what's what.
So just a quick question.
Yes, sure.
The architect signed off on the space that we will be getting in TCP. So it's like the space, the rooms that you asked for, it's like in that general area, if I'm understanding correctly, or did he just sign off on your design? Like, yeah, that's what we'll try to give you.
Actually, it's sort of the other way around. We're signing off on what he's proposing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
okay.
the first responsibility for the whole building, I didn't send all this junk out to everybody, but for the whole building, the TCP Building Committee signs off on that. And then for each area, such as the town hall offices, Pacc, the school district offices that are in there, each of them is signing off individually, which is what we did on everyone's behalf.
Oh, okay.
Now, we keep telling him we need expert help, but from what I've seen, and I hope I'm speaking correctly for Joe as well, we're in pretty good shape. They've given us enough room.
Okay.
We've made our points. We have doors in right places. We have a reception area. We have a flex space, which is kind of cool.
We have outside access, which is excellent.
Yes. Yep.
Will we have a parking space or anything there?
This level of working, despite the fact we've raised this more than once, is not actually at the level of all the outside and parking and pathways. Okay. That's a different level of work. And I got the idea, Joe, I may be wrong on this, that they were bringing in a different person who was dealing with the outside structure of the building for the parking and the roadways.
I have not attended the meetings. I don't know.
I thought it was in one of the documents. Oh, you know where it was? It was in the Lunenburg Ledger.
Yes. Yes, it was. That's right.
Because I didn't know about last week's meeting. This is rather unfortunate, but I can't keep going to the website and hunting to see if there's a meeting on. But they had a meeting last week, which apparently I wasn't the only one not to know about. And I think the Lunenburg Ledger was the one that reported on it. And we're talking about if you can get a fire engine through, you can get a school bus through. So they have to do all sorts of things very carefully for traffic flow. But yes, Faith, we do keep raising it.
Well, the plan looked good that I could see. It's encouraging.
Well, it's been the result of a lot of discussions, not only with this committee, but Joe and myself have spent quite a bit of time on it.
Well,
So,
you did a very good job, and I want to commend you.
actually,
both.
Joe did a very good job. I just went along for the ride.
I'm sure you put your 2 cents in, knowing you.
I still didn't get my wet bar, but we're working on that. Right?
But you got our kitchen.
We got the kitchen, but actually one thing that Joe had been to a studio visit, was it Winchester?
Winchester.
And we dumped the green rooms and created this flex space.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the more valuable ancillary areas, if you like, to the studios that we wanted to put in.
Yeah.
We do know we have to deal with potentially a very small but well air conditioned, preferably filtered air server. That's where some rather noisy equipment goes that we don't want close to the studio itself, but we do have to have access to it. Not quite sure where that's going to end up, but we have some ideas. So.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, everybody good?
Yeah.
Any more questions? Hearing none. The studio visit was to Leominster.
Yes.
Did Heather Lemieux just show up? Okay.
I looked like
She
it,
came
but-
and left, it looks like.
Did you kick her out, Joe?
No.
She just showed up on my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, the studio visit, we went to Leominster. They are a 501c3, different set of rules. They have their own building. He spent maybe an hour with us.
Yes, an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, walking through, fascinating some of their thought processes, which hopefully are mirroring basically what we're trying to do. But they're going to be a good resource right now for us, I believe. And they seemed very amenable to helping us if necessary.
Good.
Which was good. It was a good visit, I thought, Joe, right?
Yes, yes. And it was a nice facility and very high ceilings in the studio with a lot of lighting grids and just a lot of nice stuff there. They were in the process of unpacking and getting everything set up because it's a brand new building and a brand new studio. So I'm just the highlight was seeing was seeing their archive, which was very cool. But
that's not what we're talking about for an archive, but you're right. That was very cool. Can you describe it?
It was wall-to-wall DVDs, tapes, machines to transfer tapes to DVDs.
And film.
And film. Yeah, right. And film. And it was just, it's not just an archive of their work, but it's sort of a historical archive of Leominster. So it was very, very nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been there 20 years ago or so in their studio, and I bet it's really nice now. It was nice then.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it located?
It's on Litchfield Street, just off 117 in Leominster, to the west of Leominster.
Okay.
It's a brand new building. It was constructed for them.
Oh, nice.
We did the,
Yeah, so it was a very good visit. Good start.
That archive is actually done as a service to the town, I believe.
Right.
And somebody has it as their baby, but they have rack and rack after every kind of media you can imagine. And they have a constant appeal out for anybody who has video of or film of things like parades or special events in the town. And they gather them all there, and they're all, I mean, it's rack after rack of equipment.
Do they have people looking for, do they have like exchange or rentals or people looking for the archives? Or
I believe what they tend to do, if you, I'm not sure how they deal with it if you ask for it, but they do have a big DVD duplication capability, and I think that's what they do.
Okay, and then they sell the DVDs?
I'm not sure. Did they say that, Joe?
He didn't mention that.
Steve, do they have a connection with the Leominster Historical Society?
You'd have to think so, but I didn't ask it. I didn't hear him say something like that.
That's something like our historical society has that in a very minor way.
Yeah, Joe's got a picture up of.
Did they tell you who they used to help them design their new studio?
Not specifically, but we asked them if we could talk to them about that. So
Okay.
when we're ready, we have to be careful because it looks to me, because they have had the building constructed, and that building looks to me like, you know, $500,000 or $750,000 worth.
Yeah.
Then
Not
they have
our
to put all
budget.
the equipment in.
Yeah.
So it's not our budget. Well, Leominster's slightly larger than Lunenburg, I
Yeah.
believe. So
Slightly.
So we will use them as a resource. They're also very local to us, which is good.
Yeah.
But if we do Dracut, certainly their van was done fairly recently in the last 3, maybe 4 years.
Yes.
I don't know about their studio, but what we will do as we do the visits, we'll try and keep track of where we've been, and at each of them, try and encourage them to at least say they'll help us.
You have a date for that Dracut meeting?
I'm going to set it up.
Okay.
Gary Muse is the executive director there, and I know Lauren, I forget her last name, is in Westford. Yeah, so I'll set those up.
Right.
Dracut was just did you read about them in the news recently?
No.
They're having a fight with the cable is having fight with the selectmen over funding.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So just FYI.
So they're not a 501c3 then, probably.
They are, but the selectmen want to know their budget, their finances, and they want them to be transparent. And Dracut is saying, we don't answer to you.
Well, as a 501c, their accounts are public.
Right. Their accounts are public, and they're...
otherwise, they'll lose their 501c3. So.
Right. But I just read an article. It was a couple weeks old, but they're having fights with the town.
That's not good. We don't need that.
No.
Bear in mind that if Joe sends out an invitation to Dracut, we cannot have more than 2 committee members on it. Otherwise, it becomes a quorum. And
okay.
We run to that problem again. So
okay, well, I would, since I've been to some other studios, I would be willing to step back so that some of the newer members on the committee could go to see these.
So just do it on a case-by-case basis. So Joe will put the invite out to the committee, and then we'll just gather and see what makes sense. Okay, anyone have any other questions on the studio visit? Hearing none, we can move on to the royalty-free music. Joe.
Okay, well, I've researched a lot of different options, and unfortunately, a lot of music companies don't have subscriptions. A lot of them do, but they're very expensive. So I've come up with 2 choices that I included in your package. There is quite a bit of difference in the money, but I liked these 2 specifically. Winchester Public Access recommended DeWolf Music. They've been using them for years, and they're very happy.
And your dog likes them too.
Who's the wolf?
Yeah, you said wolf.
That's Jamie. Does Jamie want supper?
Let me close the door. Hold on.
Can you press the mute button on the dog?
Shh.
Oh, is that your dog?
Sorry about that. So Winchester recommended DeWolf. They've been using them for years. They use their music in projects a lot. I sent you the page from the email she sent me that it's unlimited music usage, unlimited downloads, over 100,000 tracks, in-house music specialists to assist with music searches. The music license is in perpetuity. Now, there is a distinction there. It's in perpetuity if you use it on a project. If I'm doing a project, you know, Talk of the Town in Lunenburg, and I use their music for it, I can run that project in perpetuity. However, the music as the background on the station is not in perpetuity. That is for the duration of the agreement. That's the only difference. That license is $1,440 a year, and it's just music.
It's sound effects as well, isn't it? I thought it was kind of a full spectrum. Might be wrong. I can't seem to find my printout of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is. Under audio, they usually have that as well.
Right.
So I'm sure.
So just so the committee is completely clear, if you put it into a program, you can use that music in that program forever and a day. If you're using it live, so we're just using it for a background for a committee meeting or some such thing, you can only do that while you have an active subscription.
Okay.
Correct. The other option is, I've mentioned them at meetings before I got the DeWolf information, was the Storyblocks licensing agreement, which is at a cost, it's typically $10,000 a year, but they were offering it to us for $7,500 a year. That also includes, on the first year, it includes video.
Was that essentially the same pattern of in perpetuity?
This is a little different. This one is in perpetuity for everything.
So everything you download, you can use forever.
Yes. Yes.
Does that mean for 7,500, we can download the entire library and then cancel our subscription at the end of it?
Why not?
Well, doesn't seem quite right, but I understand.
Right. I mean, you could. So I know that's it seems like a no-brainer based on the money. But there's certainly pluses to the story block. Story blocks, and there's pluses to DeWolf. It's something to, I don't know. Does anyone have any questions about it that I could answer?
Should
No,
we
you
try
you answered the question I had.
Okay.
Yeah, do they offer like a 30-day free trial or something?
That I don't know. I don't know.
Have we heard their library of music? Is it like worth listening to?
I've listened to a few, but I certainly could listen to more.
They
Well,
have a wide range.
since Steve A is our sound expert, maybe you should give an opinion of what you think.
Will they let us go on and listen?
Yeah, you can go on and listen to at either location. Let me pull up DeWolf. Hold on one second.
Sure.
I'll do a screen share.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it is a big difference in price between the
Yeah.
two. But
I
if,
don't see anything, so you know.
but
Well,
it's,
I'm wondering if we
uh,
want to do the cheap one for a year and make sure we're satisfied with it. We're only risking $1,400.
No, 750.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep, can see it now.
we too, just we two.
So
Oh,
you
we-
can check out the different. That's me humming.
so this music will be used for like all in-town projects. Like people have access to this, and
Yes.
for like just the news, for like background, you'll use all, and for like PSAs. So like pretty much
Yes.
any music in any programs can come from either of these two companies.
Right.
As well as background for the bulletin board.
Right. That's
Good.
the key.
Well, wasn't that one of the big things you wanted, like a 25-hour loop for
Yeah.
the bulletin board?
Yes.
Actually, Joe tells me there's a random function that you can just pull it out of the, our own library, presumably hosted on the Cassis. It'll just keep pulling them out of there randomly.
Local. Electronic beat, small group, dance music, catchy, nightclub.
Yeah, they have lots, and you can look through them. Story blocks, let me take a look so you can see story blocks.
So I know Castus has special effects you can use. Do they offer any just music?
Who?
Castus, right? Does Castus offer like special effects like background, or is that a different program that you purchase?
No, it's Castus is different. I mean, there's a place to run the music.
Okay.
So here is the story blocks. And it does have sound effects, loops, and collections. We can go to happy music.
I thought we'd go for the angry.
Oh. And then,
That's funny.
oh, birds singing. What could be better than that? And Storyblocks has video available.
Got sound effects on there too.
Yep, sound effects. I don't know if I thought DeWolf had sound effects.
It did. I thought I saw it.
Did you?
I think so. So you would send us the web sites?
Sure.
Is that what happens? You go visit and you can check it out?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I can do that, so you can
Yeah, sound effects was right up there.
Yeah. Right here. General sound effects conditions. It's good.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
Eye of the tiger.
So the
So
one thing you're saying, DeWolf, if it's in a project, we own it, but otherwise we don't. With Storyblock, we could create our loop for the bulletin board and all that, and then we've got it.
then we can cancel it at the end of the year, and we have everything in perpetuity. It belongs to us.
So DeWolf was how much a year?
$1,440
right?
for
Story Block is willing to give us $7,500 for a year.
the first year, and that includes video clips.
And then 10,000 a year after that.
Right.
I mean, I could download onto our backup drives, our hard drives, my archive drive, tons of music and tons of clips that we could use in perpetuity.
Well, I'm thinking for a year, it would be better to go. It looks like it's better to go with Story Blocks, see if we use it, see if it's something that fits us. And then if we find that, you know, we just need more, what does DeWolf offer for the extra $4,000? Does that make sense?
1,440.
Yeah,
Well,
it's the
Story Blocks is
opposite.
10,000. After the first year, it's 10,000. But yeah, you know, we don't know yet what we want to use. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
we need to put our feet into it, see what we're using. And then if the editors are going, wow, I wish I could do this. This program doesn't give me X, Y, and Z. After a year, we still get to keep everything from Story Blocks. And we then could look at DeWolf or somewhere else.
I think you have them reversed. The expensive one is Story Blocks and the cheaper one is DeWolf, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was 14,000 a year for DeWolf.
No,
Oh,
it's
1400.
1,400.
Okay, my mistake. I had an extra zero on that.
Yeah.
Well, then it would make more sense to go with the DeWolf for a year.
Yeah.
The 1,400 for a year.
For a year.
See what else we need, how
Even
much
for a
we
year or
use it.
two.
And if
Even
we
for a
really
year or
need
two.
more, we review it and go to the 10,000 one.
Yes.
Because I often, when I was doing things is, do you really need it? Let's try it out. Let's do it. Oh, I need this function. I need that function. We all use Microsoft Word and there are 1,000 functions no one uses.
Yeah.
You know what? So why go with the, although I like Story Blocks that you own it forever. So what you're doing is you're paying the royalties up front. We've talked about that before. I say go with the DeWolf. Let the editors go nuts. You know, build up a library for your the bulletin board, X, Y, and Z. And if it works out, you stay with it. It's only $1,400 a year, which is not a bad stepping point.
Right.
Are you making this as a motion, Steve?
Yeah.
Just in case, Faith.
I mean, monetarily, it just makes more sense because we don't have a studio yet. So you went 1 year contract, and then when we get the studio, we go, you know what? We need more. We need a bigger palette. We need to be able to keep things. And then you say, okay, now it's worth the $10,000 a year so that we can keep things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because right now our local production, you said was down to like 30% of our shows.
Not even.
So we don't have the need for it right now. But, you know, hopefully after COVID and if things ever get back to normal, we'll be doing more local programming and the need for more music will be then.
Yes.
So I believe I'm hearing a motion from Steve.
Sure. I'll make a motion that we try DeWolf for a year contract.
I second.
I second.
I third.
Sorry, Pete, what were you saying?
I said I second it, but I guess it's the third now.
Okay, at least the third. Jeff, do you want the fourth? So.
Yeah, make it an even four.
Okay.
Pull out.
I have a motion from Steve, seconded by
Everybody.
Now Jeff needs someone to put in the minutes. So.
Do it, Pete. I think.
Okay, put Pete in seconding it. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Pete.
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye.
Faith.
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
And me makes it unanimous. So as such, we don't have to ask for anything else, and the motion's carried. You happy with that, Joe? Because it's too late if you're not. So.
Well, Joe, now you need to go to the editors and the people creating the stuff and say, this is it, go nuts. We have a year to fool around with it, use everything you can, explore everything you can, and tell me when you're dissatisfied.
Yep.
Because I bet we could then negotiate with them and say, look, we really like everything, but I don't know. You know how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I also, you know, the guy who's producing the new show, you could ask, maybe pay him or one of your videographers to listen to different music and to make recommendations to you, because it sounds like you're very busy right now.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, for sure.
Actually, I think it would be wise if everyone on the committee spent some time listening to it as well. So.
Yeah.
So the DeWolf, how many users are allowed?
I think it's 10, isn't it?
No, that was Storyblocks.
Okay.
Storyblocks was 10.
That's a 50-50 shot. I blew it.
I believe it's one license.
I think if it's the other one, it's one license for Lunenburg Public Access.
Right. So I can just share.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're part of Lunenburg Public Access.
Yes.
Or if necessary, Joe will make us all volunteers for the day.
Right.
Okay. Moving right along, the last item I have is the next meeting, December the 7th.
Pearl Harbor Day.
A day that will live in
Oh,
infamy.
you're right.
That's what I was thinking
Right.
too.
I think it's also the Feast of Sant'Ambrogio in Milan, which is the patron saint of Milan.
Ooh.
So, mine of useless information. So if nobody has a problem with December the 7th, then I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Seconded?
Second.
All those in favor, let's get out of here.
Aye.
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 Joe, you're in charge. Switch us off.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you all.
Yep.
See you next month.